Stellar, and I am here with a pick a card reading, which is timeless. We're going to be looking at the question, what good karma is coming your way? So, what kind of good things are about to happen? And I want to look at why you're having some good karma, like maybe what you've gone through or why you deserve it. So, let's take a look at the cards here on the table. We have 4 different groups to choose from. So, we have number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want you to quiet your mind, quiet every part of yourself as you ask this question, what good karma is coming my way, and see which group you're drawn to, And some of you might already be familiar with pick a card, so you might already know exactly how your method works, how you find them. You go for whatever feels right to you. Of course, pick a cards are an intuitive practice, so it's really good exercise for building up your own intuition to make sure you're choosing your correct groups. But anyway, you may feel drawn to more than one. You may feel drawn to just one, maybe 3 and 4, maybe 2 and 1. It really get 2 and 4. It can go however you want it, maybe all of them, who knows. But anyway, take it as it resonates, and let's go ahead and get started. Timestamps will be down below. And if you want a personal reading with me, you can do that through my Etsy store, which is linked in the description box. You can also join here as a member on the channel. And thank you guys in advance for all your donations and through the super thanks button up at the top, or PayPal, Venmo, Cashapp. Thank you guys really for that. And of course, for those of you that do go on my wish list, I've had a few of you that have blessed me with that recently, and I do appreciate it a lot, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Hello, my friend. So you chose group number 1. We're going to check it out. What is your good karma? What good karma is coming your way? Now, first of all, let's just start with the cards. So first of all, you've got this beautiful sticker. I love the colors, the black and lavender kind of colors. They're very beautiful. So anyway, I have to just note that, right? I was lucky enough that my brother came to town, and so some of you might have known my older sister had committed suicide last year. Well, she had some oracle decks, and he brought them to me, and this particular card is from one of her decks. And so we've got Vision, the card of Vision. So I feel like your vision is going to be quite clear, quite open. And also, of course, vision, it's like sometimes we see the right opportunities. It's like we're able to see something. And so I feel like one of the things that's kind of a part of this good karma is increased vision. It's like you're able to snap that opportunity up, or you're able to see something for what it is. You know what I mean? In a good way, because it helps you, right? So we have that card of vision. Let's see what else we've got. We've got knowing, divination, converse, energy, and free will, number 28. We've got door to spirit in the reverse. Angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. Boots, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Financial health. The cow, nourishment, abundance, asking and receiving. And we have imprisonment. Well, this is definitely the energy of blockages being removed. That's one thing I can tell you right off the bat. I actually want to pull cards and see perhaps why you are getting this good karma. Where is it coming from? Justice. Well, I feel like you've been a very fair and balanced and just person. So this could be, the fruits of your efforts of trying to remain balanced, calm, discerning, as an example in a situation. So for some of you, the Justice card could indicate that you've been a fair person in another situation. Perhaps you handled something fairly and kindly. For instance, if you quit a job, you give them 2 weeks notice as an example. And instead of rushing on your emotions and saying, I'm out of here, suckers, goodbye, see you in the next life, type of thing, you maybe thought about other people's, problems as an example, and were able to sort of, you know what I mean? It feels like you've done fairly to others, essentially. And of course, it's not going to be that specific example for the majority of you, but it's like that kind of energy. It's like where maybe there was a situation where you were able to kind of discern what is right and wrong. You know what I mean? And how you want to behave, and what standards you hold yourself up to, and you held yourself up to those proper standards, even if it didn't feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Even if it was like not the first reaction, perhaps you've chosen. And again, maybe for some of you, it was easy. That's just how you live your life, with a rational, calm heart, where you just want to make the best decisions possible for you and for others. You don't just think about yourself, and that's one thing that really comes through here. You try to think about the other as well, and how things balance out. So that's why you're getting the good karma. So we have financial health improving here. And the cow, of course, can talk about abundance, asking, receiving. This feels as if there are blockages being lifted in your financial endeavors, okay? Or that somehow your finances are going to grow. The one thing I will tell you is I feel like there's a lot of psychic energy and like spiritual energy kind of flowing into you that's going to create this sort of vision. And then you're going to know where to direct your efforts. So very much so, this will be reliant upon you. I don't feel like spirit necessarily is dropping like money into your hands. So this is not like winning the lottery type of money, but it's like where you know the direction that you need to go in. You got the vision, and then it's just all about getting the work done. But it's kind of like, it's a special gift because it helps you get out of a stuck situation, or it helps you to move forward in some way. You know what I mean? And the door to spirit in reverse can feel like when our intuition's failing, when we are feeling blocked spiritually. And you know what I mean? Like, it can be that there are a lot of like little outside influences that are like kind of influencing you, blocking your mind, perhaps as an example as well. But as you let go of the drama, the distractions, intense emotions, the more you gain spiritual peace. So just relaxing and letting go is the message of this card, and just allowing yourself to be led. So one thing I would, of course, encourage you to do is not to worry about the outcome, like how you'll get there per se. I feel like you're going to have you're going to have the knowing, the vision. You're going to know. And then you're going to take your free will and create. And that's the big thing I get. So I feel like your good karma is essentially this divinely inspired idea that comes in moments of rest, when you're not exactly begging for it, when you're not exactly thinking of it. It's like this idea or seed gets planted into your head, and suddenly you have some sort of vision. Like you have some sort of, okay, that's what I want my next step to be. That's the next thing I'm doing. And it's going to be open to you. Like, that's the thing. It's like whatever you're going, that vision that you get set on, like, that thing that you're seeing, it's like you'll actually have, first of all, the motivation, but you'll be able to receive this, you know what I mean? Like, there will be benefits from that idea that's sort of, again, channeled to you from your spirit guides. And you may, like I said, even receive this in a moment where you're doubting or you're doubtful. You know what I mean? And I feel like in a lot of ways that this good karma that's coming your way, it's meant to help you strengthen your belief. Because we all have moments of not believing, you know what I mean, or lacking faith. I would definitely say to give it to some kind of higher force, any issue that you have with your life. Definitely, because I do feel like that will kind of create that least resistance. But I really feel as if certain financial blockages, issues, that sort of thing are what are going to be really benefiting from the good karma coming your way. And like I said with the boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. It may require some effort on your part, but like I said, it's like you have the vision. That's, I think, where people honestly get the most stuck in life is when we don't know what the F we're doing. When we're just like, what's the next step? What am I supposed to be doing? I have no idea. Like, should I apply for that? Should I do this? Should I do that? No, like, and that's the thing. It's like, I feel like you're going to be able to, you're going to know. You're going to have that intuitive knowledge, and definitely go for that, because it's really going to take you out of some blockages, especially financially. So again, financial health is improving, and that is what I've got for you guys. That's your good karma. I really do hope you enjoyed this reading. I know it was a bit shorter, but you know what I mean. I just try to get through some concise, specific messages, and hopefully I was able to hit the nail on the head for you guys. If you felt like it didn't resonate, you know, you may have chosen the wrong group, so you can always go back and choose a different one if you'd like. And you might find yourself drawn to watch more than one. Just do what feels right to you. But take care of yourselves, guys. Lots of blessings to you. If you want a personal reading with me, you can do that through my Etsy store, which is in the description box, at least at the time of this recording. I have astrology. I have tarot readings. You can get either one. And also, if you want some exclusive pick a card content, including February predictions, if you're watching this, I'm going to post that video soon. I just need to edit it and get it done. I'm going to be posting that. But yeah, I post exclusive content for the members on YouTube here, so you can join up above. And thank you guys all in advance for those of you that do leave comments or leave donations through the super thanks button, or through PayPal, Cashapp, you know, Venmo, my wish list. I really do appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for being supportive. You know, like, no matter what your contribution is, it doesn't have to be financial. Just leaving a comment, leaving me a thumbs up, it really means a lot to me, and I appreciate it a lot. So take care, guys, and I hope you are blessed and happy, you know, throughout the rest of your day or night, wherever you are, okay? See you next time. Hello, my friends. So if you chose group number 2, this is going to be your reading. So you've got some Gemini symbology there. So we have Gemini, we could have Mercury activated here in this reading. So, of course, you know, your good fortune, your good karma can come through mercurial things, letters, trips, learning, exploration, that sort of thing, speaking, you know, writing. But anyway, let's see here what we've got. So I got a special deck. My older sister had committed suicide last year, some of you might know, and my brother recently came to Colorado in December and brought, well, actually it was right around New Year, right before, anyway, so at the end of December. But anyway, he brought me a box with some of her oracle decks, because she had some, and this is one of the decks that was in there. So we have Sunshine on the Water, which automatically, honestly, brought that song by John Denver into my head. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. I think that is a song that you guys should listen to, and know that your spirit guides are kind of trying to bring that sort of peaceful energy to you. That's one thing I'm really getting. I also feel we have the card of change here. Some of you might be going on a trip to where there is water, and you're like somewhere, I don't know, maybe you guys are, you know, traveling to a beach, a lake, a river, somewhere. There could be a peaceful moment near the water that's coming. Because for some reason I keep getting this image in my head of a particular video. And you know, it's so funny how we never know what will touch us, but there was this video, and I don't even watch this channel really a whole lot, but I remember I tuned into one video on their channel, and they were like on a boat, and the sunset was just gorgeous, and it was like the music that they paired with that sunset was just, it was otherworldly. And that's, I don't know, it just keeps coming to my mind, that particular sunset. So I wonder if some of you might be experiencing some sort of very beautiful sunset in particular. I know that doesn't seem like a big blessing, but it probably will tie in some way into something greater. We have the card of Echoes, Ancient Culture, Roots, and Customs. Some of you might find that you yourself are actually getting good karma because you've been connecting more towards ancestors or your roots, or again, there may be some sort of ancestral energy, some sort of echo, and this could even be farther back than you might realize. Even if you have like a past loved one that's, you know, maybe recently departed, or, you know, maybe departed in your lifetime, and you kind of like, that's the one. I actually feel like this is farther back than that, like one you've never met. And I feel like you were meant to somehow step into some sort of role in this lifetime that echoes something of their intention in life, or what they did, or what they wanted to do. And you may have actually been taking on this spiritual journey without even realizing it. Because some of you may not even be privy to this information, by the way, about what you are, like what you've been embarking on, what you've been learning, and how it ties into some sort of ancestral story. Very interesting, specific, crazy message I wasn't expecting, but yeah. And we have all tied up in the reverse, which is very positive. We have hidden secrets can harm you, as well as fair woman. We have psychic abilities and the earth fairy. So this is really interesting as well, because some of you might actually come from a line of ancestors or have a specific ancestor that was very psychic, as an example, and you may be actually somehow tapping into bringing their qualities or their talents or carrying on their mission in some way, like you're bringing it into the world. This is really interesting. This is kind of a separate message because I don't even know if this is like exactly the good karma. I'm going to try to find out a little bit deeper about what the good karma is. Now, obviously, with all tied up in the reverse, that's a very positive card, because that can talk about, you know, the tied upness going away, right? So it can be like that card of release rather than being tied up when it's in the reversed position. It can tell you that the ties that bind are about to break loose. A previously stuck situation is opening up and the restrictions are clearing out. This card reverse also indicates that you are ready to break free from the habits and patterns that have kept you tied up for so long. Get ready to free yourself, and you have all the power and clarity at this point. So untie the binds of the patterns that have stopped you from being authentic and empowered. Now is the time to liberate yourself. And so that's the thing. I feel like that you are creating great changes in your life, and part of the good karma is that you're getting the energy, the grounding, the secure, because grounding, the earth fairy is very much about the physical security, and oftentimes without physical security, we're not, you know, there has to be a balance of everything. We have to have emotional security. They all play off of each other. You know what I mean? So it's not like one's better than the other per se. We need that balance. And I feel like it's like maybe there's something in your life where you're feeling that physical security, rather. It's like you're feeling that foundation, that health. Let me see here. Let me find out about this hidden secrets and the fair woman in particular. So what's interesting here is that we have, if you're worrying about something, just specifically, you guys, about a specific person who perhaps knows, maybe they know something about you, or for some of you, this may be somebody who has, you may actually see, especially if you've had, I don't know, some sort of issue with somebody, and specifically, particularly maybe someone that's a fair woman, you may find that you come out on top in a situation, that you are favored. Somebody could have some payback in your life, and that's kind of you get the good karma and they sort of get the bad. Especially if you've been in such a situation where that would be relevant. Now, of course, by the way, you know, don't necessarily, you know, try to make that fit if it doesn't, if you don't have such a situation. I think this is specifically meant for a few of you. But in fact, actually, I feel like that whole message there is for a few of you tuning in. But it still plays into the other cards in a way for those of you that are kind of tuning into that message, because I feel like that there's some sort of ancestral, you know, foundation here of support. But there's something being noticed here. And the other thing about hidden secrets can harm you is it may be that how hard you've worked is coming to the surface, or how much you've, you know what I mean? Like someone could recognize you as very valuable where they previously haven't. And sort of it releases you in some way. It changes the situation. I want to say that you have the money or resources, the foundation to be able to create something new in your life. This could be, again, that change or travel. It's like changing something. It's like finally broken free and allowed to pursue something a little bit more in alignment with who you are. I could also feel as if you have been feeling like you haven't had a strong connection to spirit, I want to say that you might get some really strong synchronicities, like glaringly strong, not blaringly. Well, blaring, maybe in some situations, blaring or glaringly strong. And I think it's going to give you a push that you need too, in order to move forward and get yourself finally out of a situation. But I want to say, I think the main thing I see here, though, is that somehow your efforts are recognized. And this may even be by older people in your family as well. I really do feel, though, you guys have, like, probably perhaps a spiritual ancestor that maybe you're not even aware exists. Sort of like my great-great-grandmother, my mother's mother's mother. She was a psychic, actually. And I sort of get to carry on her work in some way. And so some of you might have something similar. Maybe you're not aware. I was aware of her, but I never met her, unfortunately, because she worked on the Manhattan Project, and she got radiation from doing the nuclear bombs. And she actually wrote about them. Like, she was very much against nuclear bombs because they made her sick. She got really sick from that job, and she ended up dying of cancer quite young, but she was, I think, in her early 50s or so. But anyway, she always said that one of us would pass this on, like continue with it, and it was me, actually, which was weird because I knew that all my life, but I never made that connection. You know what I mean? I just kind of grew up. I remember looking at her Ouija boards and her tools and stuff and being like, ooh, but she was just always kind of like a mystery to me in some way. But yeah, like, it could be something like that. Maybe it's farther back than you realize, or maybe some of you are aware. But I feel like in that, it's like there's an ancestor here. I do feel that that's involved, and they may have given you or tried to gift you something, some intuition. And that's another thing that I get is, like, with all tied up in psychic abilities, it's like you are able to see clearly the changes that need to occur. Pay attention to them. You know what I mean? Sometimes when we follow the gut, even if it doesn't exactly match our outer vibration of what we want, there's a reason or a deeper reason for it. You know what I mean? And that's one of the ways that you might receive some good karma as well, is because you're following that psychic ability rather than perhaps what's on the physical realm. Now, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick example. I know some of you get so pissed off at examples. Well, if you don't like it, go, take a hike, I guess. But when I was living abroad, right, before COVID, for 4 years, I was living in Moscow. And I was teaching. I was very, very happy. I loved my job. I loved my students. I was very, 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 very happy in my life. And suddenly I had this feeling, I need to go. I have to leave. And lo and behold, a few months later, first of all, I got back to the U.S., immediately had a miscarriage. And so there, my mom was there. It was very comforting to have her nearby when that was happening, because it was quite heavy for me, like, emotionally. And it would have been so sad to have done that alone. Do you know what I mean? Not alone, because I had my husband and stuff, but you know what I mean? It was nice it happened in my mom's bed. You know what I mean? Like, in the comfort of her bed. That was very nice and comforting, And not long after that, then my grandmother gets diagnosed with lung cancer. And then COVID happens. Bam. Like, suddenly. And it's like, my job's gone. Like, that company that I was, the place I was working with, they're gone. Like, it doesn't exist anymore. Like, they lost, business. And so I ended up making a good decision. But I was crying the night before I left. I was crying. I didn't want to leave. I just knew I had to. And then, of course, my 2 sisters passed away, and all these other things have happened. My uncle passed away. I had so many different things happen in my life, and I think I was meant to be here for that. You know what I mean? In some way, shape, or form. And so, again, I followed that intuition, even if it didn't feel on the physical level comfortable for me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to because I was happy. I felt valued at my work. I loved my students. I had a nice little happy home. My kids were happy. Everyone was good doing it. You know what I mean? A lot of things were good for me. And, but there was that nagging in me that said, I gotta go. And lo and behold, like I said, all that stuff happened. And I left for a reason. And, you know what I mean? There we go. And it pushed me also into a lot of other things. I mean, I could go on and on and on about all the different pathways that took me down that decision that have been for the best, that have been in my highest interest. But again, it wasn't something I made with like a, you know, comfort and knowing. Like, well, there was a knowing, but it wasn't like the type of thing where you feel very aligned and happy. You know what I mean? I was sort of unhappy about the decision. And when I first got here, I cried my eyes out. I was not happy to be back. I was like, this sucks. My life sucks. I was very depressed. But anyway, but that again, following that nagging led me to changes that are, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. That's what I feel for you guys. So sorry this was long and rambly. I really do. But it's just like, you're going to get this moment of peace. I feel like that there are ways that you're tied up that you're not even aware of. But they're releasing. Just kind of like in my situation where I could have been in a, you know what I mean? Like somehow this did release me to do some other things that I was meant to do on my path. And like I said, I think that I just see this strong spiritual influence here around you. Again, with that ancestral kind of energy. And anyway, I'll shut up and let you guys go. But take care of yourselves, okay? Lots of love to you. If you want a personal reading with me, you can get one through Etsy. And if you want to have extra content, you can join here as a member on the channel and get some extra videos and stuff like that. I want to say thank you in advance, so to all of you that do leave me a thumbs up, who comment, you know what I mean, who share. I really do appreciate it a lot. And for those of you that, of course, that go even farther and you donate to the channel through the Super Thanks button or through my PayPal or through Venmo, Cashapp, or my wish list, my Amazon wish list, I really do appreciate you guys. But all efforts are equal to me. I really do appreciate each and every effort that you do make to encourage me. And I do appreciate you guys so much. And I wish you a blessed and beautiful day or night wherever you are. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Hello, my friends. So if you chose group number 3, let's find out what good karma is coming your way. So we've got the hourglass here. I think your good karma is coming in quick, is what I think, because I intuitively chose that sticker, which, you know, it means something to me when I you know, have a lot to choose from, and I'm like, that's the one. So we have integration. So this particular deck actually belonged to my sister, who had passed away last year from suicide, and my brother brought a box of things of hers for me, and there were a few oracle decks in there. And so I thought that was really something I wanted to include. But we have integration here. We have manifest, dreams, journal, moon, and sleep. We have the world, lightning, and frying pan. That's very interesting. We have well-being, the owl, and the journey. Whoa, okay, so this is a really, 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 really interesting one, because I feel here that, okay, hold on. So this frying pan and lightning, it says trouble and accusations, or control your anger, or you'll be sorry. So this is a really interesting message. I feel like there may be something that is bothering you, and your karma may actually, your good karma may come from the idea that you are, perhaps you're sacrificing for something that's greater. As an example, like maybe you have a belief and you sort of hold back because of that belief, even if it feels unfair, or even if it brings forth with it like some sort of accusations or trouble your way, as an example. This is really weird. I feel as if you guys are standing up to something that's a bigger thing. Like maybe you are somehow tapping into something, because we have the world, and this particular card can talk about sort of the collective energies, and something that's kind of going out, you know, in the world as an example. And this can talk about broader options, but also that there's a lot to consider. And this can talk about expanding to a more global network through the internet or social marketing, by the way, as well. This is so weird. You guys have some interesting messages here. It's all over the place. It's all over the place, but I think it's concise as well. Somehow you're finding a place for yourself in this world, perhaps in social media. For some of you, it's like you are, I wonder if some of you are doing something that's kind of controversial, or you're worried about controversy in some way. That's such an interesting, like, message I'm getting. Like, I feel as if you're moving forward, obviously, and there's an integration of, maybe you're starting to feel more calmer about something that's been bothering you as well. Wow, okay, this is interesting. We have the Six of Cups with the Six of Wands. So we're definitely seeing success or recognition coming your way from previous endeavors. Oh, wait, why are they deserving this good karma? What's the story behind this? Like, where is this coming from? So this could be moving forward in your principles, as an example. With the Chariot, this could be that you've moved forward regarding something that you felt like an inner wisdom about, as an example. And my candle's boiling. That's weird. That happens sometimes. I really feel like you've handled yourself in a situation where maybe you took control, like you didn't lash out on something or lash out necessarily, or perhaps you stood your ground despite perhaps, you know, that invitation to like trouble, you know what I mean? Like, in some way, like it's like where you are able to stand strong in certain principles that you have, even if, like I said, some people might put you down or not it feels like controversial kind of opinions or ideas or beliefs is what it feels like to me. But you kind of stood strong anyway. Some of you might find that some of your more controversial beliefs or ideas are recognized, or somehow you are gaining from standing in your belief or something like that. So even say on a smaller scale, okay, it could be like, you know, standing up for your belief in your workplace and reaping rewards from that. You know what I mean? I want to say that there could be like a certain amount of social recognition coming your way as well. And you may feel like more integration in general in your life. What's interesting with that manifest card is like dreams, journal, moon, and sleep. Some of you, especially that have been keeping dream journals, or in dream journals, not in the sense of like tracking your dreams at night, more like your dreams that you want to manifest into this life. You may find that, especially for those of you that do that at night before you go to bed, or you try to focus on and meditate on the good things, I want to say that in particular you are benefiting. I want to say actually there's 2 full moons in this reading, I've noticed, so pay attention to full moon energy in particular, because I feel like that's somehow the deal. What's up with the owl? So I feel like you guys are having some greater wisdom here in a situation. And you may find that you're rewarded for your suspicions in some way. Gosh, this is the weirdest one out of all of them. So interesting. Not weird in a bad way necessarily, but just very interesting. So I guess that some of you might be like, what are you talking about? And it probably isn't your group. You probably chose the wrong group. Gosh darn it. This is like very much like your suspicions are rewarded and you come out on top. This is like the type of thing where you say something and you know it might be controversial or something like that, or you know that it might rock the boat in some way, but you don't give a damn, and you're just kind of seeing through something, and it actually could leap you forward in some way. It's like perhaps you're being more integrated with people of like mind, or you're somehow, seen or recognized for these gifts. It's kind of like, as an example, like tarot readers, there are some that do things totally different. As an example, they may have a different style or than the average, because sometimes, of course, we start to get cookie cutter. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe you do something differently, or same with like Instagram or any sort of social media, especially. It's like you're embraced for speaking out. And for some of you, this may be a calling for you to speak out on certain things that you find worrisome, because your good karma actually can come from integrating that research, that study, that understanding into something greater. That's so weird. So if you've been thinking about saying something or doing something controversial, I'd say that actually it could go in your benefit. If you're afraid it will be controversial in some way or different, or maybe I don't know. It doesn't even have to be necessarily controversial, but do you know what I mean? In the sense of like you're pissing people off or whatever per se, but I don't know. There's definitely something here about opportunities and integration opening up in areas where you're able to kind of insert yourself into this space where people can see you. And it's like you're attracting something. This is another thing. If you took a hit where people thought you were wrong, but you were right, and you were living according to your principles, this is the type of thing where you get rewarded and you come out on top. Okay? So, for instance, you know what I mean? Like, and this can come on varying degrees. Like, it doesn't have to be like super, super, super crazy in terms of like what you did or what you believed or whatever, but it's like somehow, and biting your tongue actually, I think in those type of situations, not biting your tongue, it's like where you say something like with eloquence, or you try to say something with calmness in particular, it's like that pays off, you know what I mean? Because wisdom doesn't come from yelling your point across. It comes from the quietness. It's like we are able just to calmly state our purpose, our idea, our need, our desire, whatever it is, our belief. And it's like in the end, you end up coming out on top. You know what I mean? It's sort of like when you watch debates between people and one's yelling over the other. It's like they're threatened by the other person, sort of. And you end up coming out on top. And I'm not saying that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, of course, this is probably going to delve into people's lives in different ways. I'm not saying that you've been in some sort of debate, but there may have been times where it's like you were able to calmly say, I see bullshit, or you know what I mean? You followed that gut, you followed that wisdom. You're able to break through certain deceptions. Perhaps it came through dreams or through, your sleeping cycles in some way, or there's something intuitive connected to it. But this is like where you're really able to make a reach. And I think somehow you're benefiting financially from this, or in a way where you feel respected, admired, understood, you know? But anyways, that's interesting. You may have felt shut down or something at some point, or like you're not being heard, or like maybe it's the people around you aren't seeing what you're seeing, as an example. And it's like, that's the vibe I'm getting here. But it's like there's integration here. So you might find that people are starting to notice you, or looking, perhaps the energy, the ones who were once combative towards you, or the energy that was combative, is sort of relaxing, and perhaps there's a great possibility here. There's a great possibility for wish fulfillment here as well for you guys, especially if you did fight for your principles, your values in some way in your life, whether it was in a relationship or something else. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be something global or something like that, but it's just, that's what it feels like to me. And that's sort of the good karma. And let me see. I'm actually going to take a blessings card from my Oracle deck just to kind of see a little bit more. So your positivity increases. Your mindset is changing as well. So perhaps you're getting a little bit more like not giving a crap. You know what I mean? Like you're not invested as much, like you just don't care. We also have, flirtatious experience. So again, this could attract new people to you, to attract new situations towards you. We have a debt is paid. So of course, as well, there may be that idea of a debt being paid in your life. And this may be in a more like spiritual sense. It doesn't have to be a literal financial debt or whatever. This reminds me, though, for some of you it could be a debt, because I had a situation in which I went to a beauty school, I went to cosmetology school, and I finished my degree or whatever, or my certification, but I didn't actually get certified. I didn't take the test. Anyways, that's a long story. I'm not going to go into why, but I had finished the schooling. I have the diploma. Anyway, but that particular school, I had observed that they were cheating us, that they were taking money from us, and kind of, I don't know, doing some sort of laundering or whatever they call it, like filtering money somewhere. I had noticed it. Someone else had noticed it, but we were like the only two. And particularly, and I kept going to the office and asking them, what is this? And why are these charges on my account? It doesn't make sense. And the woman would run circles around me. And then I was so young at the time and naive, I didn't really know. But I was just like, okay, I guess I'm not understanding something, you know what I mean? Now, of course, many years later, we found out that the school was doing, bad practices, et cetera, et cetera. All our student loans are canceled with that school, basically, which was nice, you know what I mean? Because it saved a lot of us money. And some of us are, getting refunds if we paid in to our student loans and everything from that particular school. But, when I went to tell people that, they didn't agree. I had a lot of people who were like, no, that's bullshit. No, you just must be misunderstanding something. They wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean? They were. But anyway, so, you know what I mean? That's of course, just an example of something in my own life where that kind of, worked out that way. But definitely, I do feel like that there is some sort of debt being paid here in some way. And again, in my case, it's I had all these sort of I handled it calmly and stuff like that, but there were people that were accusing me of making stuff up or whatever, but it turned out that I was correct anyway, because I saw through something, I was seeing a deception going on, and I was like, this isn't right. There's something screwy going on here, you know what I mean? Anyway, and so for some of you, there may be something that you've seen a long time ago, and you're going to see it revealed to where everyone's seeing it in your life or in that surrounding. It doesn't have to be the entire world. Of course, it could be announced publicly somehow where it's accessible to the world. But there may be certain deceptions there, and it's sort of like that debt is paid in a way. It's not literal in that sense, but to where maybe you'll have it. Hopefully you have debt paid off like me. Or get it removed or whatever. That'd be nice. But, you know what I mean? It's like where you're getting some sort of payback from that. And it may just be emotional in some way. But also, I feel like this is leading you towards new adventures. We have new adventures coming your way. We see a positive mindset coming through too. So you might find yourself also integrating into a more expansive time in your life where there's more forward movement, where there's more possibility, where you're able to kind of leave behind deceptions and go towards new possibilities that are open, that are honest, that are true to who you are as well. So this is such a different reading, you guys. I'm so interested to see what you guys have to say because it was very different from what I was expecting. And I know that I probably lost some of you, but the ones that stuck around, like seriously, I think that you guys are going to find a lot of positive changes coming your way. And definitely follow your gut and don't be afraid to say something different. Or, you know what I mean, don't worry about some troubles or accusations coming your way per se. You might find actually that more people connect with what you have to do, say, show, whatever it is, more than you might realize. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's your reading. I really do hope it helps. If you want to leave me a comment down below, I'd love to hear from you. I do appreciate those of you that do take your time to leave comments, give me a thumbs up, or do things of that nature. Thank you to those of you that do leave donations through the super thanks button here on the video, but also through my wish list on Amazon and through Venmo and PayPal and stuff like that. I do appreciate each and every contribution, whether it's a comment, whether it's that. Thank you guys a lot for your support, and I wish you a blessed and beautiful day, wherever you are in this world, and take care, and I'll see you next time. Hello, my friends. So you've chosen the last group here. I am loved. Just notice that's what it says on there. I wasn't really paying attention. So I am loved potion. Well, let's see how that plays out. So we've got relax. So I want to say that some of your good karma is the ability to relax, to chill, to have some time to yourself, to not feel stressed, to not feel anxiety, to not feel burdened. I feel like that there's a relaxation coming your way. And that's, paramount to this reading, but we'll see what else comes through. This particular deck actually belonged to my sister who passed away last year from suicide. My brother brought that he brought me a box of her oracle decks, and it was so nice to see some of her cards and be able to use them. So we have expansion, ritual, dance, feast, and fire. We have the house, the frog, cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. We have new beginnings. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. We have vulnerability, but look at what we have too, caring connections. We also have cracked cup and clouds, temporary problems. So let me ask why you're getting good karma. I'm going to ask that separately. So why are they getting this good karma? Oh, because you have hope in humanity. You give to others. You've given to somebody. I think that you shared hope with somebody in terms of their pathway. Like perhaps you've encouraged someone on their path at some point in time. Maybe you gave actually some really good advice. Maybe it's financial help as well for some of you. I feel like it's either way. Like you've been giving. You've been generous in some way, with what you have. And for some of you, like I said, that's more financial, like you've given financially to someone. But for others of you, I think it's on this side where you've actually given words of encouragement, of wisdom, of guidance towards somebody. And that's made an impact you've definitely made an impact on somebody in your life. And whether it's somebody you've met in passing, you know what I mean? Like sometimes my husband and I will get into, we had a conversation with a guy at Walmart for 2 hours the other day, just random, and it's like we're encouraging him, you know what I mean? Like just to follow his dreams and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? We do that sort of thing, and it's like, you never know how much those, maybe those conversations won't be impactful, but you never know when they will be. You know what I mean? And it's like that sort of thing. It's like you could have said something to somebody like that. You meet them, you say something kind, and then it inspires them to, in some way, I want to say that your inspiration towards someone else too could have led them to be more giving in some way and to pass it on. It's almost like you're passing something on, and then they're therefore passing it on. So it's kind of like a chain reaction, if you know what I'm saying. So that's what I would say here. Now we have that dissatisfaction with life. We have those temporary problems. I love those two cards together because it tells me that any sort of dissatisfaction that you've been having, any sort of temporary problems you've been having, temporary. It's temporary. It blows over. And therefore, you start to see, the clouds clearing. We see, this expansion, this doorway, etc., etc. So I feel like your good karma is you are actually clearing out baggage. You are getting out of a negative phase. You may find yourself more time to relax and to expand your mind and your connections in particular, especially if you've been feeling burdened, overwhelmed, not able to connect in some way to other people. If you felt kind of... There's also, I feel like you may find that your vulnerability also inspires vulnerability in someone else, or therefore you're able to get vulnerability from somebody else, which actually might be kind of nice in some way, because maybe they're able to open up to you, clear out some baggage, clear out some karma, clear out some words that were left unsaid, as an example. Even we have that caring connection, friendship, partnership of two, possible love. So we definitely have a caring connection coming in. So this card shows a couple in a tender embrace with the woman holding the blossoms of new love. Like the community card, this reveals a caring connection, but usually between two people only. This card upright signals the beginning of or deepening of a kindred spirit friendship, or even the appearance of new love. It can also signify a formal business partnership. When this card appears, be on the lookout for new connections presenting themselves. The relationships you already share may become more intimate, purposeful, or present at this time. Notice the opportunity to forge new or deeper bonds. There may be a tender karmic connection at hand. But yeah, we see one that's expansive. For some of you, you may be expanding with a caring connection, like maybe creating a business or doing something there where you're able to expand it a little bit more. This may be somebody new coming into your life that Spirit's sending you because of your good deeds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now you're ready to meet this person because you've cleared out certain baggages, that you've done certain deeds. You know what I mean? And it's like, here, let me send somebody that will care for them as much as they care for others. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like there is definitely a connection of vulnerability. That's so weird, though, because of this card and that card literally says... It literally said that. That's so weird. So the same message. I always pay attention. You know what I mean? Yeah, like the relationships become more intimate, purposeful, deeper bonds, vulnerability. You know what I mean? Like this is definitely, that's so funny because, yeah, that's definitely a sign, because two of cards kind of indicating that, like a special connection. And even the house card, of course, can talk about our intimate life, our private life, and, intimate connections as well. And it's like, I feel like there's a cleansing connection that's actually very expansive for you coming your way, and that's your karma. It's like, it's not a connection that's filled with drama or blah, 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 blah. It feels as if, and maybe for some of you, there's going to be deeper connection in a current connection, especially if there have been like certain problems. Your faith in them, your patience, as an example, especially for those of you that have had those, you may find that it's rewarded, in a connection in particular. But that's what I'm feeling. You have that blessing, I guess, of connection, where you're really attracting, like I said, a better connection in your life, whether it's existing or new. Let your intentions be known. And that's so funny with vulnerability, because sometimes it's hard to be brave And then we have beware who you trust, the minstrel, and the wolf. So that's very interesting because I feel like here we're getting a connection where you can be vulnerable, where you don't have to worry about trusting. And again, maybe as well, it's like the partner in your life, if you already have one, is trying to clear the past. You know what I mean? Like you're able to move forward out of certain situations towards true love and fidelity. For others of you, though, there's true love and fidelity coming your way. Like there's definitely, this is, gosh darn it, this is very romantic for some of you, I have to say. I feel like this is definitely indicating like an improvement in love life and vulnerable connections and like a special connection. And it's like this person, it's so funny because it's like beware who you trust and then true love and fidelity. It's like you don't have to worry with this person. You can be vulnerable with them. They're caring. They love you. They care. So again, this could be also a partner, like I said, or a person that's already in your life proving themselves in some way to you. Perhaps it's like they want to rectify certain things, as an example. Or maybe there's, again, something that comes through to kind of clear that baggage, like I mentioned, so that you guys can move forward in life. Some of you also could feel as if a partner is standing up for you. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. I think for most of you, honestly, especially for those of you that are single, this is love coming in. Like someone special, like coming into your life. And it's sort of like you've given your time, you've paid your debts to certain connections, and now you're ready to kind of reap the rewards of that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You've paid it off, is what I feel. You've taken the high road in certain situations, perhaps, you know, when you could have been nasty, when you could have been a bitch, when you could have been awful. You've remained eloquent, you've remained caring. You know what I mean? And now you're rewarded with someone you can actually really trust, that you can be vulnerable with, that probably you will make a home with at some point, with the house there. So what a beautiful, beautiful message. I like this one. I think this will probably be everyone's favorite. And I wouldn't blame them. This was probably, the other ones are very, I don't know, I feel like the last one was very spiritual in some way. I don't know. A lot of them were very spiritual. This one feels more, well, it's not spiritual. I'm not saying that it's not spiritual. It's just different. Anyway, I love it. And I am loved. Like, there we go. Right out. There's the sticker. I'm loved. It's like you feel like you're loved. You feel like you can trust. You feel like you can be vulnerable. Anyway, I love it. Take care of yourselves, guys. And thank you in advance for all of you that comment, that leave me a thumbs up to let me know you like the video. And for those of you that do super thanks on the video and give a donation, I appreciate that. And some of you go to Venmo or Cashapp, PayPal, and stuff like that and leave donations, and I really do appreciate that. Especially Courtney had recently sent me $10 on PayPal, and that was very sweet. I'm still thinking about what I'm going to buy. But, and then, of course, she also sent me a deck off Amazon. That was very sweet of her. And I appreciate those of you that do go on the Amazon wish list and contribute decks to the channel, or just trying to fulfill personal items off my, because I have 2 wish lists or whatever. Some of you go and get me something personal. And I do appreciate that, especially for those of you that feed my sewing addiction, my quilting addiction. But no, a lot of you guys sent some really nice things, and I appreciate that. I feel blessed to have you guys in my life. And even if you just leave a comment, you don't have to financially, give input to have my appreciation. Honestly, I just appreciate your presence. So thank you so much for being here. Lots of blessings and love to you. Take care of yourself, and I wish you the very, very best. And I'll see you next time.